Hi there everyone, it is currently 30th of October 2011. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you with westernpacificweather.com, and today is going to be a day we're going to zoom in across land here today, and the monsoonal trough that continues to extend across Malaysia into Singapore and parts of southern Thailand here, and this has been causing that extensive flooding out across this region. But good news is that trough is extending down here a little bit farther towards the south than where we have been seeing it the last several months. Therefore, Bangkok remaining relatively rain-free for the past several days. A few areas of convection did run through the localized area there, but it looks like most of the rainfall has pushed here towards the south as the northeast monsoon starts to set in. And actually, you can see that this high pressure continues to ridge in from the north. This is the Asiatic high up here towards the north here. Well, with that pushing down towards the south, that's bringing those northeasterly winds along the southeastern periphery of it here. We all know that winds spin clockwise around areas of high pressure. Therefore, coming from the northeast towards the southwest is this colder, drier air, and that's been affecting the Thailand area, specifically up in northern Thailand, therefore reducing the amount of heavy rainfall out across the region. Bad news, though, is that the rivers are still cresting, specifically along northern Bangkok. There has been plenty of reports of flooding out across that region. And for starters, much of northern Bangkok continues to be flooded. Good news, central Bangkok dry for the time being, as most of the flooding is mainly on the western portion of Bangkok and the northern portion where there has been widespread flooding. And that's actually a lot of the reports of rainfall out there, flooding out there that you see in the news and not such, and they continue to say inundated out there, is really in the northern and western portions of Bangkok. But for the time being, it looks like most of the city has actually been evacuated. A lot less people in the downtown area for the time being is because Thailand did declare a national holiday out across the entire region. Therefore, a lot of people have relocated out of the Bangkok area to other provinces, just kind of taking a vacation and getting away from that flooding if they are able to. So really kind of good news there that the government has stepped up and kind of announced that holiday throughout the entire country, specifically up here in northern Thailand. But for right now, though, there also is the effect of the high tides. The astronomical high tide is currently taking place for this month out here, and really this is actually at the time of this update today here on the 30th. We are seeing this high. The tides are expected to go down here by tomorrow morning and then rise back up by tomorrow's high tide. But good news, it's not going to be as high as today, and that's what we mean by the astronomical high tide. It's going to be the highest of the month. So thereafter, we're not going to see water levels as high as they are today. We're going to see a gradual decrease with the tides, and also as Bangkok itself begins to drain out. But one thing I do want to also mention is that I do believe that media has overhyped a lot of the flooding here. Yes, it is extensive damage throughout the entire region. There's plenty of localized flooding, but overall, though, it looks like that much of the areas that are inundated are really kind of small pockets out here across Bangkok. And most of the severe flooding is just to the northern and western periphery of the city, as already noted, but central Bangkok does still remain relatively dry. And at this point, it doesn't look like those levees are going to be quite breached. Therefore, I do think that central Bangkok is going to continue to remain dry, and that means it doesn't look like we should see any more fatalities out of this. We know that this has been a very devastating event over the past several months, but for the time being, with the northeast monsoon setting in, these river levels look like they should start to continue to go down. Even if those levees do break, I do believe that they're going to be slowly inundated, and the central Bangkok would see a slow water level rise, not an extreme one. Therefore, authorities would be able to evacuate people out of the way if those levees and that flooding does take place in the downtown area. But here's another look at the forecast here across Bangkok. If you look down here in the southwestern part of this map here, just showing out across the entire Western Pacific from the GFS model, and this is actually showing on Sunday that monsoonal trough continues to linger down towards the south, but if we go out through the next several days, it looks like it continues to persist that way as this high pressure remains off towards the north, bringing those easterly winds. So it really starts to look like that northeast monsoon is really in effect here across northern Thailand. That means fantastic news for that region, because this is going to reduce the overall amount of rainfall across much of Indochina. So really great news there as we see that southwest monsoon start to drift towards the south. But that is all for right now, everybody. Thanks again for listening here at westernpacificweather.com. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them in the comment box below. But I'll leave you here with another slideshow from some pictures gathered around the net here across Bangkok and northern Thailand, where we have been seeing the extensive flooding. Stay safe out there, everybody. Have a great day.